The Meizu M2 comes from Chinese brand Meizu that remains out of the scope of the mainstream customer in the West. This, however, does not mean that it's an obscure and a shady brand. In fact, Meizu has quite a loyal following in China, and recently, it started building a name for itself as its last year's flagship, the Meizu MX4, went on sale in many of Europe's largest markets. The Meizu M2 is the company's affordable big screen phone. The 5.5-inch phablet with a 1080x1920 pixel display, an octa-core MediaTek chip with 2 GB of RAM, and the latest Android 5.1 Lollipop on board. Often, however, specs don't tell the full story. Is the Meizu M2 really as good as it looks on paper? That's what we'll try to answer in the full review right below. The Meizu M2 features a plastic body, but it has a nice, non-cheap feel to it and is solidly put together. The new physical ambient button is neat, doubling as a back button and lock key. The Meizu M2 features a plastic body. There are no premium materials such as glass or metal, but that's expected for such an affordable phone. Nonetheless, build quality is great. The phone is put together solidly, with no loose parts, and everything is perfectly well aligned. The camera is completely flush with the back. It comes in a choice of 4 colors, 3 glossy shells in pink, blue and white, and a matte gray body, the version that we have for review. The gray matte option is reportedly a big hit in China because it does look somewhat similar to metal, and the feel of the plastic is great, eschewing that somewhat cheap-feeling and messy fingerprint-laden surface of glossy plastic. In terms of pure size, the 5.5 handset features a fairly slim side bezel, so overall the phone ends up being narrower than, say, the iPhone 6 Plus. The exact dimensions are 150.9 x 75.2 x 8.7 mm. The M2 is also surprisingly lightweight for its large size. It weighs 5.26 ounces, 149 grams, with the weight slightly shifted to the top. While it's not among the thinnest phones, it measures 8.7 mm thick. We found the M2 to be of average thickness and fairly comfortable to hold. The more ardent readers who follow the Chinese phone industry would note that the Meizu M2 comes as a somewhat rushed successor to the last year's Meizu M1 Note. The rush is reportedly due to a lawsuit filed from ZTE against Meizu, as the larger Chinese company sued Meizu for using a round capacitive button with an LED color ring as the home button. Meizu was forced to redesign its whole lineup, and that is why the M2 does away with the capacitive key in favor of a physical home button, the ambient key. Keep in mind that while there is no fingerprint scanner, this is no ordinary button. You can not only physically click it, but you can also tap it to go back a step and long click it to lock the phone. These two additions add quite a lot of functionality and are a typical Meizu touch. The button itself is of good quality, but it lacks the sturdy tactile response of, say, the home key on the Apple iPhone, and instead feels just very slightly wobbly and not all that stable.